Hey, what's up? This your boy Big Man. You already know what it is, man. So let's get right to it. Okay, so today we're going to be talking about Lil Durk. Now, I talked about Lil Durk in the live that I did, man. And basically, we went over the fact that there was a rumor floating around that his home had got, the police called there. There was a heavy police presence there. And that's all that was being reported at the time, right? Well, today we found out via TMZ that allegedly Lil Durk's crib got ransacked or ran up on by some gunmen. And Lil Durk and his girl India ended up busting back, man. This is a wild story. I'm talking about one of the craziest stories you're probably going to hear all week. Now, before we get to the specifics, do me a favor though. Make sure you hit that like button, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and man, let's get it. Okay, now that we got that out of the way, let's talk about this Lil Durk situation, man. Wow. Okay, so we're going to be referencing a story from TMZ. And based on what they said, man, Lil Durk had a crazy Sunday morning, man. It looks like some gunmen tried to ransack the crib, run up on the crib and started busting. And Lil Durk and his girl were busting back at the ops or at the gunmen who were involved. Now, I'm not sure if these are the ops or whoever it was. All I know is that's what TMZ is reporting, and let's just get to the story, man. Now, the headline says it all. It starts off by saying, Lil Durk, shootout in his Georgia home. Suspects flee the scene. Now, once I heard that and seen that headline, I'm like, well, who would go into a ritzy neighborhood and start busting unless they was really about that action? Now, there's a whole bunch of likely suspects in this situation. Lil Durk he really doesn't have a beef. Well, let's not front, man. I know I try my best not to talk about street stuff, but Lil Durk does have some situations out there that are unresolved. We'll say that much, right? And he's got a lot of people out there that would love to, get their hands on him or get near him just to handle a certain situation or not. That's the most eloquent way I could put it, right? Now, Lil Durk and his girl obviously must share their place together, because the story goes on to say a couple of things involving his girl as well, man. Now, Lil Durk and his girl, India, have one of those couple goals type of relationships where people online admire them and say, hey, man, I wish I had a relationship like that, that type of deal. Well, it seems like their bond is tighter than we thought, because based on this report, it was like India was out there busting back with Lil Durk, man. That's what's up. So let's get back to the report. So it starts off by saying, Lil Durk got a rude awakening when some people busted into his home and exchanged gunfire with him and his girlfriend, according to law enforcement. So TMZ is basically saying this is coming straight from law enforcement. So there is no way around this being a rumor or anything like that. I don't even think at that point you got to say alleged, because they didn't say alleged. So it continues by saying, according to the Georgia Bureau of Investigation, the rapper and his baby mama, India Cox, were the victims of a home invasion and aggravated assault this past Sunday, a little after 5 a.m. So somebody came in right in the wee crack of dawn when Lil Durk was probably at sleep. I mean, that's usually around the time people are leaving the studio, or either they've already left the club and they're asleep or whatnot. And this is when the armed gunman picked to run up in the crib. So that was some planning. That was some strategy. They knew what they were doing. And obviously, if there's cars in the front and stuff like that, they knew people were home. That's probably the most troubling part about it. All right, so let's continue. Law enforcement tells us several unidentified individuals entered Durk's home in the Chateau Elan neighborhood of Brazelton, about an hour outside of Atlanta, and a shootout ensued. And that's why, ladies and gentlemen, that phrase, stay dangerous, gets around, man, because I think there's even studies that have proven that, if you busting back, you have a higher likelihood of surviving a shooting situation than even running away. And I think number one was like ducking for cover and stuff like that. But man, it makes sense why people say that. Now, the story continues by saying this, man. It says the GBI says Durk and India discharged their firearms, but they were not injured during the incident. So stop right there. So India was busting, man. According to them, India was busting back. So Lil Durk and India, they was staying on ready, man. And even if you got a nice home, because listen to the name of this place. It's called Chateau Elan, man, in the Brazelton neighborhood, man. That sounds rich. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, but regardless of all that, him and his girl were like, forget that. We going to be ready in case somebody breaks in, man. Now, the story also says that It's unclear exactly how many people allegedly entered the home, but cops are asking for tips from the public in the case as a part of the investigation. Now, finally, it says, we reached out to the rapper's attorney, Nicole Mormon, who declined to comment. So Lil Durk's attorney was, I guess he's keeping it G and he doesn't want to talk about it. But man, that's wild to say the least, man. Chicago cats, it seems like, man, all of their drama and even all their beefs have followed them to even Atlanta, man, like to Atlanta and other cities where, these things didn't even originate, man. Now, I'm not sure if this was just a home invasion. They were trying to rob Lil Durk because, Lil Durk is getting it right now. Like in the live video I talked about, Lil Durk is getting that bag. Big money, a lot of success in the rap game. He's obviously got a nice crib set up. And I was looking at old interviews where he was talking about how he had like a trucking company or something like that. If all of that is going for him, man, he's got bread flowing in, man. So people might have just picked him to be an easy lick. Or this could be somebody who already had intentions of causing him harm. So it seems like him and his girl were on the ready, and that's what it's all about right there, bro. You can't pay for that. So if you're going to couple goals something, you really got a couple goals that, to be real, man. Now, Lil Durk has yet to comment on social media, but after everything went down, like the next day, he was putting money all on social media. And I commented about that on live. Like he kept flashing money on social media, putting money like every other post. Basically, I don't know if he was taunting the people who tried to come get at him or try to rob him, or he was just letting it be known that, hey, man, I got this money and you ain't going to take it from me. You know what I mean? Now, this is the point where we ask the big question, man. Does any of this have to do anything with the rap game? Like, is this taking place or did this take place because of something that went down, earlier in the rap game or anything else that they've got going on as far as rap associations, rap beefs and things like that? Or is this a Chicago thing? Are they really sending people to Atlanta to rob Lil Durk's house? Or was this just some broke dudes, man, trying to come up and thought that they would catch Lil Durk and them slipping? And obviously, Lil Durk ain't about that slipping, man. It seems like he was ready for something like this to happen regardless, which is smart planning, man. If you have an estate, you have a nice place, it just seems like a smart thing to do. Like, I'm no gun person, I'm no gun expert, so don't take my advice on any of this, or use this as advice at all. You know what I mean? This is just me giving an opinion on what I see and what I think is, the best thing for me or someone or what he did in the situation, man. If that makes any sense at all. Now, what do you guys think? Do you think this had something to do with some rap beef, or do you think this was just some broke, dusty dudes running down on Durk's crib while him and India were at home, and luckily they were able to save their family and able to protect their stuff and their goods? Now, with that, this has been your boy Big Man. Do me a favor. Make sure you hit that like button, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and make sure you hit that notification bell so that way you get a notification every time I drop this hot content, and we out of here. Peace.